Hello, everybody. This is lesson 87. It's called Impose Your Will. I think, I believe it was General Karl von Clausewitz said the winning general is the one that can impose his will on his opponent. One of the best and I could be wrong about that quote, one of the best examples of imposing your will is in American basketball. If you have two teams, one's real tall guys and they can out rebound the other team and they can keep the ball above the other team, and they're slower, and you have another team, team B, and they're fast and they can run, and they have a fast break and they're quicker, but they're a lot shorter. Which team will win? And I've posed this question to kids for, let's say I've been coaching maybe 34 years, and it's funny, I pose that question and I always get different answers. Oh, the little fast guys. Oh, the big, tall, slow guys. The answer is the team will win who can impose their will on the other team. If the big, tall guys panic and try to run with the little short guys, fast guys, they'll lose. If the little fast guys stop and try to play heads up, man-to-man ball with the bigger guys, they'll lose. Whatever team can impose their will on the other team and make that other team play their game wins. And you can see that. You'll see basketball playoffs. One team will blow out the other 20 points one night for the world championship. And then the next night, they'll get blown out 20 points. It's like, what happened? That shouldn't be the case. Is it that flexible? One team can just get in a rhythm and impose its will that night, and the other team can't? Yeah. And you'll see that with a lot of other sports, too. You can see it in football, and you can see it in a lot of things. So imposing your will on your opponent is an important thing. And how can you do this? You have to be strong. You have to have confidence. You have to have faith. And by faith, I don't mean faith as belief in something with no proof or no evidence. I mean, you have to have faith that your turn will come. You will eventually win. You have to have confidence that, okay, I may have lost that one, but I'm stubborn and I'm going to keep going and it will eventually turn my way. There's that movie saying or whatever that said, luck will often save a man if his courage hold. Well, if you are courageous and you don't give up, eventually things will come your way. And so part of this imposing your will on your opponent is courage. It is sticking to your plan and keep going and keep doing it and not breaking before the other team. Whichever team panics or whichever person panics or gives up, or they will fold and the other one will impose their will. And that's very important to know. You can also, you can have people that have certain strengths, like whatever, as one team has a certain strength, or a boxer has strength, or one wrestler. Say one wrestler is really good at upper body, he's really good Greco, but he's not so good with leg attacks, and the other's really good. Whoever can impose their will win. But also, you can, if you have a weakness, the best thing to do is correct it. Fix your weakness, whatever it is in your strategy for whatever it happens to be. Could be selling chainsaws. It could be boxing. Could be, fixing lawnmowers. Whatever it is, whatever your weakness is. If you have a weakness, fix it. But the other thing is, if you can't do that or don't do it, the other thing is keep your weakness from your opponent. Don't let them be where they can. If you have a poor pass defense, you better have such a good rush that they don't get to pass, or whatever it happens to be if you're secondary. So fix your weakness. If you can't fix your weakness, keep your weakness out of your opponent's jaws. This can also be done by not letting your opponent you have that certain weakness. Like if somebody doesn't understand, hey, this general has no tanks in the battle, well, then he won't apply that, whatever it happens to be. Or the old, all the stories of Sun Tzu and the Art of War, and when one battle went to another, who could hide their weakness and make the other think something was happening, because he said all war is deception. So understand what's going on. So imposing your will requires you to be very strong, confident, and willing to take your lumps, willing to keep doing your plan, willing to keep working your goal and not giving up on the first problem. And you can't be just like a donkey that's slamming its head into the concrete. You can't just stick to your plan even if it's not working and even if it's a poor plan. You got to have flexibility to change that. But that should be part of your plan, to be able to realize, oh, hey, this isn't working. If this doesn't work, I do this. I do plan B. Or if I can't accomplish this, I will have this backup plan. You're not just two-dimensional in your attack. And this is a kind of an important thing, but there's so many people that aren't, it's not that they have the problem of, oh, I'm going to do my plan no matter what. 95% of people just don't do their plan at all. They kind of go out there, and if it fails once, fails twice, they give up. 90% of people give up if it fails twice. It might be a good plan and the other person has a good plan. Well, if both people have good plans, both opponents have good plans, and their plans are sound, and you've made your plan sound, I'm assuming that, then the one who just gives up their plan is going to lose. If one person has a good plan and the other has a bad plan, and the person with a bad plan keeps doing it, they'll obviously lose. And then you're going to win anyway. But realize that it's a part of imposing your will on your opponent. And you see this over and over in every sport: soccer, basketball, football, boxing matches, wrestling matches. Who can impose their will and do what they want to do and make the other person play their game? And that could, I said, there's fighters, boxers who, do their plan. They're inside. Tommy Hearns and marvelous Marvin Hagler with the greatest 3 rounds of boxing are a perfect example of that. Or whatever. There's thousands of examples that you can see as you study life and try to become a better person and a more successful person and a more winning person, a more self-actualized person who has skills in a lot of areas. Look at this lesson: imposing your will on your opponent. It's something you should consider. Hope this helps somebody, and I'll see you later.